Adam in San Francisco's got a question for Larry, and Larry's here for it. Adam, what's going on? You're on 95.7 The Game.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Larry, love your opinions, and honestly, I have a lot of respect for you, just the fact that, not that maybe you foresaw Brock Purdy being this good, but you called it out a year ago how much you liked this kid and that no one was really talking about him, and look where we're at a year later. So with that in mind, I wanted to get your opinions on what you've seen from Ji'Ayir Brown and what you think he could be. I mean, Baldy was on the morning roast and it was, made the proclamation that he thinks he could be the next great safety in Niner history or football, which is awesome. But with your, what you've seen and everything, I want to know about your opinion about Ji'Ayir Brown, because he has some big shoes to fill in for Hufanga.
Yeah, no, I love Ji'Ayir Brown. I mean, Bruce Feldman is the guy who has that freaks list every year that he puts out. I think he writes for The Athletic now. And basically it's all these workout warriors and these guys who lift an incredible amount of weight and do they're just great workout warriors. Well, Ji'Ayir Brown was on that list, and he also was one of the most productive, collegiate production safeties in all of college football, and he was coached by the great Manny Diaz at Penn State, and he was just very, very well coached. So you're talking about a guy who played in a great program, who's a physical freak, very, very strong. The only reason he was there in the third round is because he ran 4.65 for the stopwatch. But safety 40 times are not that vital. If he had run 4.45, he would have gone in the first round. He ran 4.65, so he went up in the third round. But safety's about instincts and running the right direction. And if you run fast but you don't know where you're going, you're just further away from the play. This guy can cover. I think he can play the deep middle. He played a lot at Penn State of what they call cover 6, which is...
Please explain.
Well, it's cover 4. It's a combination of cover 4, cover 2. It's, you'll hear guys say, describe it as quarter, half. And I just think that he can play, in other words, he can play the deep middle in a cover 3, and cover all those blades of grass, or he can be a box safety like he's going to be for the Niners at strong safety, playing in Hufanga's spot in the box, and he's really good at attacking the line of scrimmage. He's very physical. The reason he was a great pick for the Niners is they lost Jimmy Ward and Emmanuel Mosley last year, and those guys weren't just good players. They were true alphas. They were true leaders, and that's what this kid is. He's a leader. Football's really important to him. The thing that I love the most in Ji'Ayir Brown's bio was he's the all-time steals leader. He went to Trenton Catholic High School in New Jersey. He's the all-time steals leader. He averaged over 7 steals a game.
In hoop?
In hoop.
Wow.
And what does it take to be great at stealing the ball in basketball? Anticipation, competitiveness, desire, hands, timing, a break on the ball, and that's what he has. And you already kind of saw it the other day. And just talking to him yesterday in the locker room, he's like, he knows. Seattle's coming after him, man. He knows. I got a target on my back.
Well, Tampa went right after him, and they hit on a big 40-yard pass play right over his head on his third snap that he was on the field.
He's got tremendous confidence. The guys in the room have tremendous belief in him. As I said, he's really well coached. He's really intense. He's really athletic, and he's an alpha. He's a leader. I expect that, and in some ways this is kind of a break because I think a lot of Niner fans wanted to see him maybe instead of Tayshaun Gibson, but Gibson plays the deep middle and that center fielder role. I think Brown's better in the box against the run, and so now taking over for Hufanga, this is the role.
It's a natural fit. It's what you're saying.
Natural fit, and I think there's a chance that he's going to do some things. I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid, but I think there's a chance that he will do some things better than Talanoa because he's a bigger, more physical hitter.
Would get a little bit nosy. I thought he would start to anticipate a little bit too much in the pass game, cheat up a little bit, trying to make the big play or the big hit underneath and get beat over the top. Is that something that?
Yeah, Talanoa's an all-pro.
Yeah,
and he's really, really heady. He's got great instincts. And you saw him last year attack the mesh point in the run game up in the line of scrimmage and really detonate on the ball carrier and do it with pretty good consistency. It was almost uncanny how much he could time the mesh point. He's got superior instincts to lots and lots of players. But Ji'Ayir Brown's got a better package of size, speed, strength, hitting ability. I think he'll strike ball carriers harder. He's a more authoritative hitter. And I think he's going to be much more of a force. I mean, the Niners struggled against the run. Part of it is that Hufanga, who I love, was falling off some tackles. Brown is much more likely to step into the hole and really blow up the running back. So he gives him a level of physicality. I saw him in the Rose Bowl against Utah last year, and he was the MVP of the game. And he had 8 tackles and a couple sacks, and he had a pick. I mean, and then you saw last week, he stood up. Wilkes was very impressed by what he did, and he won him the game with that pick. So great move to trade up to get him.
Gimme pick, though. I mean, he was in the spot, but the ball just feathered right down into his hands.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a kid who if you had asked him in week 1 to step in there, Dibs, and say, hey, you know what? You're a rookie, but who cares? You're starting. There would have been a learning curve. But now that he's been able to be in this room, and I asked him, who helps you in that room? And he's like, well, Bullocks has been huge. Tayshawn's been huge. Hufanga's been huge. He likes to watch the film, he's a film junkie. He watches it, 2-3 times a day. He's watching it alone. He's watching it with his position mates. He's watching it with his coaches. So, and he understands how big the situation is. He really does. So he knows that this team is thinking Super Bowl. It's a unique situation, a unique opportunity. I expect him to thrive. I really do.
And now it's his job. It's his job for the losing, and there really isn't any opportunity for him to lose it. They need him in there. What about Isaiah Oliver now in terms of his role? Because it seems like they've shuttled him to the bench, and they're going in other directions in terms of the nickel corner spot.
Well, I mean, Wilkes loves him, and when he can't even talk about anybody else or Ambry Thomas or anybody without mentioning, hey, we still love Isaiah Oliver. But, it's like somebody who tells you they love you, but they show you they don't.
Right.
It's like Oliver went from playing lots of snaps to playing 3 snaps, and now Ambry Thomas is playing all the snaps. And the bottom line is Ambry Thomas is better against the run, and he's better against the pass. And I asked Shanahan 2 weeks ago, I said, hey, you said your team looked tired and slow against Cincinnati. I go, they got the bye week. That's going to make them, rejuvenated. But where are you going to get the extra speed? I said, is that an off-season thing? And he's like, you got any ideas? He kind of threw it back on my plate. And I wasn't expecting him to do that. I'm like, well, how about Danny Gray? And he's like, well, that's one guy, but I'm looking for team speed and this and that. Well, it's funny. He kind of, downplayed my whole question. And then that's exactly what they did. They took the 4-6.
Larry Shanahan.
Exactly. I mean, they took the 4-6 Isaiah Oliver, plunked him on the bench, and took Ambry Thomas, who runs 4.4 flat coming out of Michigan.
Flat?
Yeah, very fast. Very fast. And they put him on the field. And Ambry's better against the run, better against the pass. And shocker, you put a faster, more athletic cover guy out there, and your coverage gets better. So, I mean, but you can tell Wilkes loves Oliver. He doesn't want Oliver to quit.
Yeah.
He may need him again. He doesn't want to bury him. He says, you're going to see more of Oliver. And I wasn't sure if he was trying to reassure us or threaten us.
Well, 3 snaps, right? Last game against Tampa Bay.
And Oliver's a great guy, by the way. I love talking to Oliver. But, the bottom line on the thing is that it's about body control. He's a taller, lankier, older guy who doesn't have the ability to mirror really athletic receivers with second moves and third moves. And, he just can't mirror those players. Thomas can. And I know Oliver's more reliable than Thomas, but Thomas is more athletic than Oliver. And I think they're going with Thomas.
I love it. Great breakdown. Larry Krueger in for Mark Willard here. 888-957-9570. Your thoughts on the Niners-Seahawks game, which is now 24 hours and 50 minutes away. It's game 3 on Thanksgiving night. We'll have the warm-up show, the pregame show right here, 2 to 5 on 95.7 The Game. Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. Make sure you catch that. And then overtime, featuring our very own Mark Grandy, immediately following the game. In San Francisco, we're going to take your phone call next. You're on 95.7 The Game. What's going on, Happy Thanksgiving. What's up, You're on the air.
Hey, hello. How you doing?
Good,
Yeah. Oh, pretty good. Yeah. Dealing with 13, Purdy. If he continues to do what he's doing right now, he's going to need some more coins. Because everybody keeps on saying, we got this on $1.50 still. He deserves to get paid just like everybody else. So I'm looking for him to be successful this year and bring it on home. But he's going to have to get paid like everybody else. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too, O. Thank you for the phone call. And O is right, but unfortunately for Brock Purdy, he can't get that coin, and he can't get it until, after next season? And then the contract can't kick in until after year 4. This is year 2 for Brock. He's not eligible to be given any coin until after year 3, and that coin won't start until year 5.
I know, it's funny, too, because people are like, pay that guy. It's like, dude, they're going to pay him. I mean, it's like they're going to pay him. My favorite cut of the week, though, was Richard Sherman, who was like, you know what? This guy is not going to get any respect. He's just got to be of the mindset, I'm going to go take it. I'm going to go take it. And there's just a lot of people that, whether it was based on Kaepernick or Garoppolo or whatever, there's a lot of Niner fans that, put their heart and soul into those two guys and felt, disappointed by the way things went. And so it's like, if you hear people talk about their skepticism on Brock Purdy, they almost can't speak to it without mentioning one of those two guys. Well, I thought Kaepernick was going to be great, and he wasn't great. I thought Garoppolo was going to be great, and so I'm not giving this guy any, it's like, hey, different people.
Yeah.
Different.
You have to assess every player in a vacuum.
They're different.
You can't look at, Beathard and Mullins, they were guys that Shanahan liked, and he drafted Beathard. And remember they drafted Jeff Driscoll? And that didn't work out.
I mean, it's like it's like just not the way it goes. You're just going to have to, judge each one of these guys independently. I will say this, though. I think now that we've seen 18 games of Brock Purdy, I think we've seen the good and the bad. What's the bad side of Brock Purdy? He's it's funny, the people that called him Dink and Dunk were so out to lunch because the guy's got plenty of arm. It's more
and
about...
he'll stand in there and he'll continue to look downfield and he'll try to make the big play.
He's attacking downfield.
Exactly.
To the point now where some of the intermediate stuff and the stuff underneath is starting to become increasingly open because they're taking shots down the field. He's throwing the ball down the field almost as much as any quarterback we've seen.
Well, he leads the league in air yards per attempt.
Right.
So that's all you need to know about him being a dink and dunker. He's not.
It's the ultimate lazy judging the book by the cover. He's kind of a smallish guy, and we know the Niners, Shanahan's big part of his game is he likes the short game, the quick game, the bootleg game, everything within 5-10 yards of the line of scrimmage, that kind of ball control passing game. But Purdy is more like a Brett Favre. He wants to drive the ball down the field. If there's a weakness in his game, it's that he might be a little bit, at times, too much of a gunslinger. And I asked him earlier this week, I said, hey, how do you balance the desire to be aggressive down the field, but then that voice in the back of your head saying, take care of the ball, take care of the ball,
exactly.
Take care of the ball. And he's like, it's a process. And he admitted, he's like, you know what? I'm not there yet. I'm working towards it, but I'm not there yet. And it's just a matter of being patient and taking what the defense gives you and methodically driving the ball down the field. But at the same time, what makes him is that aggressiveness to attack and that throw that he had to Ayuk. I mean, that was a thing of beauty.
Reckless. You're talking about the end zone, the touchdown pass?
No, I'm talking about the one this week where he
that was beautiful.
I mean,
I thought you were talking about the one in the end zone where he rolled left and he floated it all the way back across the field, and he was fortunate to have that be a touchdown pass.
Right. And yet, do you want to take that? Do you want to, take that aggressiveness away from the kid? In a lot of ways, make a play. That's kind of the mindset of the position. But at the same time, it's like, be smart with the ball. Make a play, but be smart with the ball. Make a play, but be smart with the ball. Make a play, but don't turn it over.
Right. Make a play, but don't float the ball all the way across the field into double coverage and get away with it.
And if there's one thing that I think, what's the lesson there is, where have we seen him or Jimmy or any other quarterback struggle on the turnovers? It's late, over the middle,
exactly,
into a crowd with not a lot on it. You know what I mean? That's what he's got to kind of eradicate from his game. But the nice thing is he gets it. He knows that, you know what? I got a hell of a team, and I got the game in my hands because I got the ball, and I got to make sure that I protect that. And he understands what the Niners have going here. I mean, the Niners seriously could be a Super Bowl championship team. You heard Dave talk about it. This is their go time right now. when they're paying this kid or $850,000 and not $22 million.
Exactly.
$27 million.
$45 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's going to get when he actually, comes to market in a couple of years.
Right.
And,
so this is their opportunity. They've got all the balance of that money spread around on their roster. It's not going to be as good of a roster when they're paying him big bucks.
without a doubt. And you got some guys to sign in this upcoming year, and you can do that without having to pay Brock Purdy for at least one more season.